Hello and welcome back to day 3 of our live stream from the NAMM show. I'm Blake Angelos here with Phil Bad Mr. Clendeninn, and today we're going to talk about the Reface DX and the D-Troninics DT-RDX controller. But before we talk about this cool little controller here, I love this instrument, man. This is the coolest FM synthesizer that we've had in a long time for so many reasons, like it being small for one thing, but the 4 operators on here is an entirely different FM synthesizer that we've ever done, you know what I mean?
That's correct. I mean, it really brings real-time control to being to FM. In other words, on the original DX7, which we must have sold hundreds of thousands of,
yes.
It was based on just sine waves, and in order to get a complex wave, you had 2 ways to do it. You either had to use 2 operators, one operator modulating another to make a more complex waveform, or there was one operator that fed back on itself to make more and more energy. Now the sine wave is nature's purest waveform. It's, if you had to think about a wheel, if you think of a wheel and you stuck a pencil that stuck out of the wheel and you rolled it along a piece of paper, it would actually make a sine wave.
Yeah.
If you look at what do we call that, a spiral.
Yeah.
If you turn the spiral on its side, it's doing a sine wave. All right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's nature's purest waveform, and it's devoid of harmonics. As musicians, we should understand harmonics. So in order to be a complex sound, you have more and more harmonics. So as you know, Dr. Chowning discovered FM by thinking about a violin player drawing a bow across a string. So you think about that. Horsehair going across catgut. Wonderful thing. All right. But the bow, the right hand, the bow is actually causing the string to move. Theorize that that string is moving at A440. The left hand is adding vibrato.
Right.
So vibrato is the modulator.
Right.
If I stop bowing, I could continue the modulator and you don't hear anything.
That's
so the
exactly
modulator is silent. But the thing was, typically a vibrato is a couple of times a second. He sped the vibrato up electronically. So when it matched 440 cycles per second modulating the carrier, he noticed that it reproduced all the harmonics.
Yeah, yeah.
The whole harmonic series, which gives you your sawtooth family. All right? And as you tune or double the speed of the vibrato, you get every other harmonic, which gives you the square wave family.
Right.
So that's the basis of FM. It's not as much mathematics as musicians think.
That's one thing that Chowning himself, actually, and we're going to be interviewing Dr. Chowning actually later today, but that's the thing that he said. It was an ear discovery. It wasn't a math discovery.
That's right.
And I think, and Manny actually said the same thing. No, so much of where, you know, the math came later, but using your ears, if it sounds good, it is good. The old Duke Ellington comment. It sounds good to me. That's cool.
That's it.
So the other thing is each of the operators in here though also has its own feedback loop, which
that's
is different.
The thing. Yes. What we've done here, and the DX is far more advanced, the Reface DX, than the original unit, because you have the access to the parameters in real time.
Right. And
really, you can program FM intuitively if you just know the fundamentals. And they're not that difficult. They're all musical. So it's a wonderful thing to have real-time control over the FM sound, because you can, it's totally unexplored. I mean, we can't explore all of it. It's an open-ended field. So it's very exciting to have a real-time interface that gives you access to every parameter in real time, which just makes it fun.
You know, on the the real-time control on just a Reface DX, it's there because you can select an operator and you can edit a single operator. The one thing that you can do off the front panel is to have access simultaneously to all operators, and that's what this product is really cool that it does. By the way, I got to mention one more thing that makes this different. The 2 effect processors that are inside the Reface DX take this into a whole other level.
Another whole realm.
So how I've been kind of experimenting with this instrument is I put the effects parameter on the control panel of the Reface, and then I have control over individual operators.
Yeah.
Where I can select an operator, I can turn operators on and off. Now, if I have all this on, there's your pitch EG, there's your envelope generator, amplitude rate, and levels. Operator, LFO, you have keyboard level scaling and rate scaling. All this in real time.
In real time.
This is so cool.
All right,
so like this sound here, let's do
Yeah.
some editing to this one.
Okay.
This one's, wait, let me find out which one it is first. This one is, I believe, oops. Sorry, back here. Dynalead, okay.
Dynalead, yes. All right. So basically, when you have a sound, now you're gonna kind of hold a note for me.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Great. So I'm gonna take the LFO speed here.
Sampling old.
All right. Lift up and hit a note again. I'm gonna delay it. Hit it again.
Oh, LFO delay.
So what the folks at D-Tronics did with this DT-RDX is give you access to the parameters. And the thing is so nice about it, you have the operator select. So one of the things that's very difficult to do if you have a reface is to to edit all four operators simultaneously. Now when you're building sounds, the thing is you can experiment. You can branch out. So you might set up your rates and levels so all of the operators do the same thing.
Right.
And then you can vary it, because if you change the modulator to have it do something later in time, that's how the sound can evolve.
Yeah.
All right, so like if you had an analog synthesizer, a lot of times you use a filter to open, all right, to make the sound expand. Well, what you do here to do the same thing is have the modulator's output energy come in slowly. So you change the rate of attack of the modulator, and it would have the same effect as opening a filter, all right? It would add more high harmonics. So the interface is compelling because for the first time you really have access to the whole FM engine under your fingers at one time.
Yeah, you know, the other thing I really dig about this product is that it has a button right over here that you can just initialize and start from scratch.
Start from a sine wave. Beautiful
and you can
sine
go
wave.
from there.
Let's see.
Yeah, there's the
depending on how old you are, you
there
either recognize that as something to do with your telephone, but
yeah, that's with the operator robotic voice.
That's an age test right there.
So initializing, you know, one thing that is cool about this product too is that if you're new to FM and you want to have this kind of a real-time interface, you got to check out the Manny Fernandez reface article series. There's about 7 articles along with videos and stuff that go with it that will get you into the editing, and this interface would be an ideal thing to use to kind of go through things and learn FM.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the best way to learn about sound is to play with it.
Yep.
And skip the math. Yep. The math is there. It'll support what you do.
Right.
But you know, the wrong thing, I see so many people who get intimidated by FM because it's so much math. Well, music is mathematics, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, when they come back and discover Earth, or what the remains of Earth 1,000,000 years from now, they will assume that musicians were mathematical geniuses because we play with mathematical relationships so naturally.
Yes.
All right? Everything. You go up an octave, you double the frequency.
Right.
So I mean, we don't think about that, but musicians are mathematicians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think we covered this product, man. I mean, this is so...
The D-Tronics, very awesome
it's
addition.
Yeah, D-Tronics DT-RDX, I believe it is D-Tronics.nl. It's made in the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands.
So search for it, D-Tronics DT-RDX. That's where you can purchase this product right here and find out more about it on their website. So thanks a lot for checking this out with us today. Once again, this is Phil Bad Mr. Clendeninn.
See you out on the web.
Yes, absolutely. Blake Angelos live from the Yamaha booth. There's more coming today on the final day of broadcast. So stick around. Thanks a lot.